What would happen if we blew up the moon? Well, humanity might just perish. But hey, if we did survive, at least we'd get a much better view of the starry night sky. First things first, let's be clear, we simply can't blow up the moon, no matter how much we might want to. The amount of energy holding the moon together is staggering. We're talking about 1.2 times 10 to the power of 29 joules. To put that into perspective, you'd need about 500 billion of the most powerful nuclear bombs ever detonated, the Tsar Bomba, all going off at once. So yeah, our destructive capabilities don't quite match our sci-fi fantasies. But let's play a game of what if. Imagine we borrow the Death Star for an afternoon and actually pull it off. The moon is gone, reduced to rubble. What happens next? The most immediate and terrifying consequence would be a meteor shower to end all meteor showers. Fragments of our former moon would start raining down on us. Remember the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs? It hit our planet at about 20 kilometers per second. A piece of the moon could travel even faster. A few small rocks might just burn up in the atmosphere, no big deal. But if we're talking about a constant barrage of lunar debris, it's a different story. They would pockmark the planet with craters, and anyone unlucky enough to be outside would be in serious trouble. But the direct impacts aren't the only problem. All that debris would throw thousands of tons of dust into the atmosphere. This would block out the sun, making it incredibly difficult for plants to photosynthesize. A prolonged meteor shower could even heat our atmosphere to the point where it becomes unlivable. It sounds like a true apocalypse, however, let's not panic just yet. There's a vast distance between Earth and the Moon, about 384,400 kilometers. The chances that enough fragments would hit us from that far away to cause a mass extinction are actually pretty low. Most likely, the meteor shower wouldn't be the most catastrophic event our planet has ever seen, and humanity could probably survive it. So, if most of the debris doesn't fall on our heads, where does it go? Well, Earth would get a brand new accessory, a set of rings, just like Saturn. The entire mass of the moon, all 7.35 times 10 to the power of 22 kilograms of rock and dust, would be floating in space near us. Most of it wouldn't escape into deep space or fall to Earth. Instead, it would settle into orbit around our planet, forming a spectacular, albeit much thinner, ring system than Saturn's. Astronomers actually predict a similar fate for Mars's moon, Phobos. In about 50 million years, it will get torn apart by tidal forces and become a ring of dust. We'd just be fast-tracking the process for our own planet. With the moon gone and a new ring in its place, our night sky would be transformed. We'd finally be able to see the Milky Way and countless stars in all their glory, every single clear night. The moon is the second brightest object in our sky, right after the sun. Its reflected sunlight washes out the night, making it hard to see dimmer, more distant celestial objects. Astronomers use something called the Bortle scale to measure sky darkness. A full moon can take a perfect, dark sky class 1, where you can see the Milky Way's dust clouds, and turn it into a class 7 or 8, where even constellations are hard to make out. That's why astronomers always prefer moonless nights for their observations. Without the moon, every night would be a perfect night for stargazing. Another thing, we'd say goodbye to our eclipses. A solar eclipse happens when the moon blocks the sun. A lunar eclipse happens when the moon passes through Earth's shadow. No moon, no eclipses. It's that simple. For many ancient cultures, eclipses were terrifying omens, so they might have been relieved. Even today, eclipses can cause minor problems, like traffic jams from people trying to get a good view, or eye damage for those who don't use proper protection. So, losing eclipses wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But now for the not-so-good news. The loss of the moon would be devastating for many of Earth's creatures. The lunar cycle is crucial for the reproduction of countless marine species, like corals and certain types of fish. Insects use the moon as a navigational beacon to fly straight. Migrating birds also rely on it to find their way. And of course, the gentle light of the moon is essential for many nocturnal predators to hunt. Without our satellite, entire species of animals, birds, and fish could die out because they wouldn't be able to reproduce or find food. Sure, some might adapt over time, that's evolution, but many would simply disappear forever. The problems don't stop there. The biggest issue would be the change in our ocean tides. The moon's gravity is the primary force that creates high and low tides. The sun contributes a little, but the moon does most of the heavy lifting. If the moon were destroyed, tides wouldn't disappear completely, but they would become tiny, almost unnoticeable ripples. This would be a catastrophe for our planet's ecosystems. The tidal zones, those rich areas between high and low tide, would vanish, and all the species that depend on them would die out. But the impact goes even deeper. Tides are a crucial part of Earth's climate control system. They help circulate ocean water, bringing cold water from the deep to the warmer coasts and vice versa. This circulation affects ocean currents, and ocean currents are directly linked to global weather patterns and wind circulation. So, getting rid of the moon wouldn't just mean smaller waves for surfers. It would trigger an irreversible, chaotic shift in Earth's entire climate. We can't predict exactly what would happen, but it definitely wouldn't make life on our planet any better. And here's the potential grand finale for humanity. Earth's axis could start to wobble uncontrollably. Right now, our planet is tilted at a stable 23.3 degrees, which gives us our predictable seasons. Many scientists believe the moon's gravitational pull acts like a stabilizer, keeping our planet's tilt steady. Without the moon, the gravitational influence of other planets, especially Jupiter and Venus, could start to pull our axis of rotation off kilter. According to some calculations, the tilt could swing wildly, maybe even up to 85 degrees. If that happened, the poles would get more direct sunlight than the equator. The climate would be completely unrecognizable. Seasons as we know them would be gone. The normal cycle of day and night could be disrupted. If the tilt became extreme enough, one half of the planet could be locked in scorching daylight for long periods, while the other freezes in darkness. This could even cause our atmosphere to be stripped away by the solar wind, a process called atmospheric dissipation. Our planet would become barren and uninhabitable. Now, some other studies suggest this process would take billions of years, and by then, our sun would have already expanded and swallowed the Earth anyway. But if the changes happen faster, losing the moon could truly doom us. So, while blowing up the moon wouldn't cause an instant, Hollywood-style explosion of Earth, it would set off a chain reaction of catastrophic events. Life would become incredibly difficult, if not impossible. We'd get a beautiful ring and a stunning view of the stars, but it would be a small consolation for a dying planet. In the end, it's probably best we just leave the moon right where it is. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this thought experiment, be sure to like and subscribe for more.